Yeah, I think I always used to feel a bit nervous sometimes, or I had that almost imposter syndrome.
Yes.
And would have moments of going, my.
Demi Moore, also known as B. Mo, made a rare appearance at the Vanity Fair Oscars party on Sunday. And guess what? She wasn't alone. She brought all three of her daughters, Rumor, Tallulah, and Scout Willis, along for the ride. The three of them posed for pictures before heading into the star-studded event, looking absolutely fabulous. But here's where it gets juicy. Did Demi's daughter just drop a bombshell about her mom's past? And turns out she may have hinted at Demi being involved in some wild parties with P. Diddy and Ashton Kutcher. The gossip train is running full speed. And the question on everyone's mind is, are we about to uncover some deep, dark family secrets? Or is this just another messy moment in the never-ending drama? Stick around because this story is far from over. All right, grab your popcorn because we've got some juicy stuff to talk about, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of it. You all probably already know who Demi Moore is. She's a major Hollywood star, right? But let me remind you just how big of a deal she really is. This woman has been a powerhouse in the acting world since the 90s, earning big-time awards like Golden Globes and Emmys. Her career, absolutely legendary. And guess what? She still got it. Just take a look at her performance at last night's Golden Globes. That was far from her first time shining on the big stage, and after 4 decades in the game, she's still going strong. So, stick with me as we dive into all the exciting details surrounding her and her incredible journey in Hollywood. Trust me, you'll want to hear this. Demi Moore is a true Hollywood legend, and her career has been nothing short of incredible. From her breakout role in St. Elmo's Fire in 1985, where she delivered one of the most memorable lines, "How come you never made a pass at me?" to the unforgettable G.I. Jane in 1997, Demi has been making waves in the film industry for decades. But while her career skyrocketed, her personal life has had its share of ups and downs. Surrounded by 2 daughters that she had when she was alive, her legacy will remain for generations to come. Demi has been married 3 times, and her second marriage to action star Bruce Willis is one that made headlines. Together, they had 3 beautiful daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah. Although Demi and Bruce parted ways in 2000, they've always been incredibly supportive co-parents. They've shown that even after a breakup, it's possible to put your kids first and remain a strong, united front. It's a testament to the kind of parents they are. Focus on family, no matter what. So, while Demi's Hollywood career has been packed with roles and awards, her personal journey as a mom and co-parent continues to inspire. What do you think of her approach to family? Share your thoughts below. Blur of rearing 3 daughters, making 33 movies, and drifting toward divorce, determined to put their children first. Demi met Ashton Kutcher a few years afterwards at a dinner party in 2003, and it wasn't long before the 2 actors started seeing each other. This caused a major storm in Hollywood, with the couple hitting all the major tabloids in an instant. Why, you may ask? Well, get this, Demi and Kutcher had a huge age difference between them. Yep, Demi was 15 years older than Ashton, and everyone could not just overlook this. So, shocked, unnerved, unsettled by a woman who is 15 years older. Gosh, I think, I don't know, it's so silly. Their relationship was shrouded with loads of judgment, with critics commenting that it was inappropriate for Demi to be dating such a younger man. Well, Demi has always seemed to fancy men way younger than her, even later on ending up dating Sean Friday, who was 24 years younger, and Daniel, who was also 15 years younger than her. So she was just doing what she was used to, cougar much, if you ask me. Despite all the judgment Demi and Ashton were facing, they kept seeing each other without caring what anyone thought. Demi opened up that she felt safe with Ashton, and he didn't seem to be bothered about her ex-husband and all that stuff in the past. and that he also loved her children dearly. The two got hitched 2 years after they met. Completely ignoring all the backlash they received, where I was safe, I had money, he loved my children. It wasn't something he feared. He seemed to be comfortable with Nority, of the ex-husband. I mean, I felt like I was not coming with baggage. I had trunks. So here's the gist. Demi might have not given a damn about what the world thought about her relationship with Ashton, but her daughters were no doubt affected by this crazy dynamic. Their mom had shoved them into. Rumor Willis, candidly, opened up about how her mother's life and choices affected her on Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table. And this was one episode you couldn't afford to miss. Did M. Moore and her daughters come to the Red Table to talk about the pain passed down from parent to child? I think the thing to leave with is just the message of welcome to me, Rumor, and to Lula. Thank you. This is such a nice treat. Rumor revealed that her self-esteem was greatly damaged by the poor image her mother had about herself. Demi Moore was going through a lot of struggles in her marriage, dealing with anxiety, addiction, and depression, which Rumor admitted affected her own self-position. She went on to say that she felt unloved no matter what she did, no matter how much she kinked up her appearance. It seems Demi was fighting her own demons, and she couldn't help it rub off that trauma to her dear daughters, reflected in how you feel about yourself as the mother. Your kid is going to pick up on that, and not be able to necessarily take in, oh, I'm so amazing because my mom says I'm amazing. If my mom doesn't love herself, like how can I expect her to love her? Like unworthiness, like I'm innately unlovable somehow, no matter how I look, what I weigh, like how my hair looks and whatever the outside reflection is. There's something innately about me that I have to earn love from people and like constantly prove myself. Chula Willis also opened up about how her mother's life affected her immensely, expressing that Demi trying to hide stuff about her past and her personal life only drove a wedge between them even further. She explained how all this influenced her choices as well, with her getting hooked on alcohol by the age of 15. Tula struggled with addiction just like Demi for the better part of her life, but her family stepped in and all became fully involved in trying to sober her up. She ended up moving in with Demi, where she tried to shape up and seek help by going to therapy. I felt like my mom made a choice to hold back certain things from like sharing about her past. I think it always made me feel very far away from her. And it always made me feel like I didn't know her very well. That's not all. Rumor revealed about her mom in an interview with Howard Stern. She opened up about Demi's relationship with Ashton Kutcher. She insinuated that Demi had a track record with young men, saying that Ashton was just one of many on her wall. The craziest part is that she also had a huge crush on Ashton Kutcher growing up, filling her room with posters of the actor. She admits it was definitely weird when her mom began seeing him, saying that she then had to cross Kutcher off her fantasy list. Knew your mom, when she was with Ashton. But the thing was, you used to have posters of Ashton. But the issue with this is, well, the wildest part about all this is that DVE was only about 13 years old at the time. Why would an adult invite a young one to a party where a lot of R-rated stuff happens? And why did Kutcher just stand there next to DVE smiling without saying a single thing or calling out Diddy? That's a huge red flag there, not gonna lie. Even though we are not really sure if DVE is into the party or not, all this is just too suspicious and coincidental. And the fact that DV disappeared from the limelight shortly after this just adds more suspicion to Ashton and Diddy, Ashton might start picking his friends right from now on, as he is in some hot soup because of them. The plot just keeps getting wilder and wilder. Demi has always been quite open about her struggles growing up and her strained relationship with her mom, which she attaches most of her adult problems to. She bravely came out and revealed that she had faced CA in the hands of her mother, who basically pimped her out when she was only 15 years old. Sad indeed, she writes, it was, and a devastating betrayal revealed by the man's cruel question, how does it feel to be hoarded by your mother for $500? Well, in the wake of all this, Demi and Ashton decided to start Thorn in 2009, an organization established to fight human exploitation. And Sigh of Youngins, the couple were apparently watching a documentary that highlighted the plight of youngins who were being exploited, and this pushed them to try and make a difference in the world by fighting against these heinous acts. But here's where things get complicated. In the dawn of Diddy's diabolical deeds, people started pointing fingers towards the credibility of the organization because of Ashton's association with Puff. Yep. The crowd wasn't having it at all, visibly enraged by Kutcher, who is now under great scrutiny for his friendship with Diddy. But can you really blame them? Demi and Kutcher's hearts might have been in the right place, but their whole philanthropic move is now tainted by their association to Diddy. The scrutiny and backlash got even more heated, finally leading to Ashton stepping down as the board chair of the organization. The double standards were too many, coupled up with the whole Danny Masterson shebang, where a letter that Ashton and Mila Kunis had written to a Judge surfaced defending their pal Danny for his alleged grape crimes. These two later publicly apologized for the letter, stating their intentions weren't to ridicule the victims. The drama was all too much. The association to exploiters, a bit too close to home, painting a terrible picture for both Ashton and Demi and their organization. Now he faces the maximum sentence. But now his former co-stars are also paying the price for supporting him. We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson. It's complicated. Kutcher wants Masterson to be found innocent of the charges brought against him, but at the same time doesn't want his friend to get off the hook. Quote, I wholesale feel for anybody who feels like they were violated in any way, despite all these major scandals that Demi has been caught up in. She hasn't shied away from sharing her experience in her marriage with Ashton. She gives an account about how she was deeply in love with Kutcher, infatuated by him up to a point that it turned into a full-on addiction. She was willing to do anything for her man, and she paid a dear price for that, that I really lost sight of everything that was right in front of me, which is the family I had and I think the weight that it put on Ashton. Yeah, it's kind of a natural thing to pull back when somebody's, clinging too tight. Demi elaborates how she was willingly trying to keep up with her young husband, trying to be all that for him. She says that Ashton was all about the party life, and she unfortunately found herself bending her sobriety rules and falling back into alcohol addiction after she started drinking again for him. She also opens up about Ashton asking her for threesomes